Hey guys, welcome to the 38th episode of General Query. This is Spawns. I go by he, him, and his.
Hi guys, and this is Zuki, and I go by she, her, and hers. Welcome to episode 38, which to us seems really close to 50. Technically, it's not.
I mean, it's 12 episodes away. That's nothing.
That's nothing.
Yeah, considering we're 38 episodes out.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about, considering all the things.
Right.
Yeah. So no, almost there. Almost there. First of all, real quick, housekeeping. I told Fonz before we started recording that I needed to bitch to you guys about this situation. So Halloween came and went, and it was lovely, whatever. However, I saw this phenomenon happening, because I know it wasn't just happening to me. No fucking kids came to trick-or-treat at my house.
Maybe they know you don't like kids.
No, because my neighbors were also giving out candy, and they like kids.
Okay.
But also, it was horrible, guys. Like, nothing. And then I go on Reddit afterwards to, and I follow, several cities. I follow San Antonio, Austin, San Francisco. People had the same problems.
Really?
All across the board. People were like, no, I hardly got any trick-or-treaters. It was super lame. And I'm like, what is going on in the world?
Right.
Listen, I understand there's obviously more pressing situations going on right now, just worldwide. I get it.
You're like, but this is my issue.
But this is my localized problem. Then I was telling Fonz, the kids that we did get, for the most part, came in vehicles with their parents.
Yeah.
And I'm like, lame.
I mean, yes, it is safer, but yeah, how boring.
Although,
especially if you're going door to door, you know?
Super
you can't just
boring.
walk over.
That's kind of the whole magic of Halloween. You're supposed to, although I have to say, I did get this one little kid. He was adorable. He was dressed, was it Captain America? I can't remember. He was wearing some, superhero thing.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And he's coming down the street, and he sees my Anderson Sister inflatables, and he's coming down, and he goes, "Sisters," which is
that is super cute,
adorable, right? Perfect. That's the shit I want to see. I want to see commitment. I want to see it. I want to feel it.
Right.
No, it just zero effort.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like that is a common thread around.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. With every single holiday, the magic of the holidays in general has dissipated.
Are we just tired?
It's just a day.
Are we just tired? I feel like
I don't know
collectively we're tired.
Maybe maybe. Or I think it's just younger generations don't give a fuck. Yeah. We're tired. They don't give a fuck.
Right. Oh, guys, come on.
Right.
No offense, but I saw this meme the other day that was please give it up for millennials who had 142 days of bliss between the release of Shrek 1 and 9/11.
Yeah.
That's how long we had to be innocent. And then it's just been a shit show since then.
Mm-hmm.
If we are let's make an effort.
Yeah. I think we millennials still like the magic.
Yeah. And if you're a millennial with a kid, get your ass out there and not in your big ass trucks and walk. Anyways, all that to say, I got left with... Sorry. I'm sorry. I just had to tell you guys. I was so upset.
Yeah.
Got stuck with almost 5 pounds of candy.
Yeah, and I would typically be like, oh, fuck yeah, that's great. But
no.
I don't think we do candy anymore. Maybe every now and then,
It was disappointing.
But 5 pounds? Ugh.
And horrible. And Daniel, at first, when we first got the first couple of trick-or-treats, he's like, you need to not give them so much candy, you need to, one piece.
No, you regret listening to it.
Yes! And then, of course, I'm having a breakdown. I was like, you know what? I feel like we're having an ideological, split right now.
Right.
I was like, because your Florida Republican is showing. And I'm embarrassed.
Right.
I was like, no, we do a little handful,
right.
No. Okay, fine. And then, boom. I got stuck with all this candy.
You know what's weird? I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day, and then he brought up something where apparently some people give out one candy, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he was like, "Oh, I thought it was just like a handful." And I was like,
Yeah.
"You know what? I think I was a brat because in our neighborhood when we moved, they would give you like full size like Hershey's, Snickers. Yeah,
Well,
right. I remember the first time we saw it, we were all like, "Whoa, what?"
see, and that's what I want us, like, get up to, if you will. I want to be giving these kids
Right,
full-size
but then
bars.
like they need to make an effort.
But they need to make an effort.
Or at
Like,
least the parents, like, what
in
the
this
fuck?
fucking economy,
Yeah.
do you know how much candy was this year? It was a lot of, I don't even want to say how much money I spent
Oh,
on
I
stupid
think,
candy.
yeah.
It was a lot. And
Even at like cheap stores, you know, they were like way overpriced.
yeah, so all that to say, if you are a young parent and you actually took your kid trick-or-treating and like walking around, you're the best.
Yeah.
And you are...
Congratulations for being a parent.
Congratulations for being a fun parent that like actually does the thing. So that was part of my housekeeping. I had to get that off my chest. I had to share.
Oh yeah, I forget that was part of the housekeeping.
That was. Yeah, I've been talking for like 4 minutes now, but it was, I needed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, definitely check out our Instagram, TikTok,
YouTube.
now YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really fun to like edit the video because I also still listen to the episodes on Spotify, so it's kind of like it's kind of cool to see the difference.
Yeah, and obviously you and I mostly see the difference in like the timestamp. For sure.
That for sure, and then also like things that we didn't like. For example, last episode where
I choked.
Yeah, because of that stupid straw, and that's not on Spotify. You can't physically, like, you can't, like, even if you hear it, even if you listen to that, you can't really.
No, you'd be checking your app, being like, "Is
what's going on?"
Yeah. So check out YouTube. Though. You have to, because there's a lot of sort of, funny
stuff
things
you're missing
that you're missing, because we're a fucking disaster. So yes. Drink for this week, keeping it really simple because someone forgot their ID when they went to buy the drinky winkies for this episode. So keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing, more than likely I have some seltzer at my house.
Yeah.
At any given day of the week. Yes. So that's the drink. Just a seltzer. We can't say what it is.
Yeah. And as promised, last episode we were kind of sad that, spooky season was over.
Spooky season is over.
So we're giving you another spooky...
One more. Yeah, spooky-ish
weird episode.
Yeah, so this week we're talking about cryptids. Yeah, which if you're not... So first of all, like, if you're into cryptids and you're listening to this, like, you're already, I'm sure, excited. Because it's sort of like I want to say it's a niche topic. Like, you have to be a little bit into curious weird stuff for it. Yeah. So let me give you a quick
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know about some of them or have heard of some of them.
But they don't know that it's like cryptids. Yeah. So let me give you a quick definition here. Cryptids are animals that cryptozoologists, which I'll go into what a cryptozoologist is because it just blows my fucking mind. Anyways, cryptids are animals that cryptozoologists believe may exist somewhere in the wild, but whose present existence is disputed or unsubstantiated by science. Cryptozoology is a pseudoscience which primarily looks at anecdotal stories and other claims rejected by the scientific community. So
it's like an astrology.
Basically. Yeah. Like, for example, it explains further. While biologists, for example, regularly identify new species following established scientific methodology, cryptozoologists focus on entities mentioned in the folklore record and rumor, So basically, cryptozoologists are, I want to say, like the people you see
believers.
Like they're believers, and they're like those people that you see in the UFO shows.
Oh my god. So do you know that I think her name is Maffer Walker or whatever? And this is jumping directly into the topic.
Yeah.
So apparently she communicates with aliens.
Like on a consistent basis?
Like on a camera basis.
No.
Yeah, so I'll probably post a couple of videos of her. When we are on break, I'll show you what she looks like. But that thing is funny.
Like she
She
has aliens
full-heartedly,
on.
yeah, full-heartedly believes that she can communicate with aliens and that, it's all about energies. Yeah.
And does she put these like things on the internet or something?
Yeah, so I think she started off on, I think it was like TikTok or Instagram, and then now like she's all over the place, and she's probably gained millions off of it because she charges for interviews and stuff. Yeah.
I'm sorry. She charges to be interviewed.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. For whatever reason, my brain just sort of short circuited, and I thought that she was getting like payment from the aliens that she interviews. And I'm like, what do they pay her with? Is this like a Bitcoin like
probing?
Probing. Yeah, she gets paid via probing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Sorry. Obviously,
you pay the method.
Yeah, people pay her to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a funky story, and every time I hear her name, I think it's Mother Effer, but it's Muffet Walker.
Muffet Walker. Wow.
Yeah.
What a name. Well, see, okay, so that's a perfect way to start, because I guess we can start with the cryptids. Like, so we have like aliens are considered cryptids.
Yeah, you mentioned them before. It was like the gray people.
Like you've got the grays, which are like the top echelon of aliens. So a lot of this folklore and this idea does come from the Appalachian like area of the United States. Like we're talking West Virginia, all that sort of really wooded area over there. I just think banjos like that.
I think it's weird because we were looking into a list of like cryptids and stuff. A lot of them come from Virginia. I wonder what the fuck is happening in Virginia.
And that's kind of the idea. Right. So it was interesting. So my boss at some point had to travel to this tiny office that we have in Pennsylvania. And I was like, be careful.
You never know.
Because you never know. You might encounter a group of like really advanced grays. And the idea is that there is a large concentration of alien related stories, people that have seen UFOs, people that say they've been abducted by aliens. And they all describe a very specific sort of experience. Yeah. And there's been a lot of accounts where they say they call themselves the Greys to us. And so you've got the Greys, you've got the whites, which are like a strata below the Greys. So they're not like the boss babes of aliens, but they're like scary. So whatever.
That's another thing. Like, I don't know. To me, the idea of aliens isn't necessarily scary. Once again, we go back to like my curiosities and stuff. Like, what about it is scary? Just that they're so far advanced from us?
Or that perhaps, like, for me, if I was in a situation and I saw an alien, I'd be like, what is your intention? Like, what drives you, right? Because, like, humans, we're driven by very specific things, like survival, sex, we can be anger, vengeance. These are all these things that drive us or that motivate us to do certain things. Like, if the idea is that this thing is an alien, I wouldn't immediately know what your motivation. Does that make sense? Like, that would be it for me.
But see, that's curiosity. But some people are like fucking frightened of aliens and getting abducted and fucking murdered,
probed.
But yeah, I guess some people are afraid of probing. What if they don't believe in consent?
Well, clearly they don't, because half the time. So, like, for example, in that same area where these Greys are known for, you have the legend of Mothman, which is another cryptid, and this is sort of this hybrid thing that is like supposed to be part alien, part massive moth. There's actually a little town in PA. I think it's PA or West Virginia. I can't remember where. One of those states. But literally, there's a town completely dedicated to Mothman. Like, there's a statue in the city center of Mothman. What they think Mothman looks like.
I wonder. I don't know. That'd be a cool man to meet. You know?
Yeah, be like, hey, what's your deal? You know,
Yeah.
what do you know? And that's what yeah.
I go back
mean,
to my boyfriend's theory that aliens have been in this planet for ages,
for a long
and we
time.
just haven't like really seen them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think especially like if we think of the iterations of the Earth and
Right.
what it's gone through before we even became a
Yeah.
thing, yeah,
There has to be.
there has to be. I mean, this planet has been around for
I do
billions of
enjoy
years.
watching those videos of like
True.
spaceships and shit.
True.
The latest one that I watched was pretty interesting because it also proves my theory. Because that's actually my theory that there's something on like deep in the sea that we don't know of.
Oh,
And it was like this massive like spaceship that was kind of like coming up. Like it never like actually levitated, but it was just like coming up from the deep ocean, and you could just see like fucking lights like randomly, and it looked massive. And it was this boat like hovering over it, and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's enough mystery around.
Now, I don't know about like flying objects, you know, because nowadays it could be fucking a massive drone for all I know.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that gets me with massive objects and like if they're alien or not is that we've had like declassified documentation like from the actual military saying we don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And our pilots saw it, tried to interact with it, they couldn't. So those things.
But I mean,
like,
in that sense, I mean, like, I don't know what videos to believe because now,
yes,
like,
that now you can.
Now I can make that happen with my iPhone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
But I do enjoy watching the ones that kind of like just are hovering, floating, and then they just disappeared into the ocean. Those like I'm like, ooh, I know you're hiding.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's that to me, like the alien side of the cryptid conversation is super layered.
Yeah.
Because
there's a lot to it.
There's a lot to it. Like I said, I mean, there's hierarchy within a lot of the folklore stories in that area. Yeah. I mean, there's like, for example, think of where is it? Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Their whole identity too is about aliens, about aliens. Yeah. So it's just very interesting. I think a lot of the stories people discount as like people are crazy. And sure, definitely.
Right. There
However,
are a lot of crazies out there. But.
Yeah.
No, but aliens, I mean, there's a lot of shit. Just like the, Vatican that the government actually hides. So I'm pretty sure there's more to it.
There's definitely more to it. And then we've got...
I guess kind of skinwalkers would be a sort of alien, no?
No. Not technically.
Different?
Yeah, so skinwalkers are most present in native folklore. And I'm talking not just Native Americans, but like native cultures across the globe. And they're in our continent, they're extensively written about by the Navajo and the Apache. And skinwalkers are basically these demonic creatures. They're creatures of the underworld.
Okay, so they're actual like demons, not aliens.
Yeah, that take the shape of any animal, any
Now
people.
Those are fucking creepy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when, I don't know if you've seen these on TikTok or wherever.
Yeah.
Where like this person is recording and they're like, oh hey, so apparently that is my dog and it's this crazy dog barking and trying to get in. And then they're like, oh, but like he's right next to me.
Right.
Yeah. 100%. Or like I saw one where it was like I think his wife or something, and she was like knocking and like calling his name and saying to open. Yeah. And then he was like, but my wife is actually sleeping upstairs, so what the fuck is this? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's the fear. So there's this place in Utah called Skinwalker Ranch. And it is it's a hotbed of activity.
Really?
And there is bizarre cancer cases in that area. The native population there has been greatly affected. There's been mutilation of livestock that they cannot explain. Movement of massive hordes of cattle from one end of the ranch to another. We're talking within minutes. It would be impossible. Like there's so much unexplained activity in this specific ranch. And the native population around that area is like, yeah, like we know what's going on there. There's always clusters of lights over this specific basin, this plateau in the area. Like it is, if you have time, go down that rabbit hole. Skinwalker Ranch. It is fascinating. I mean, we're talking whole eyes of cows being completely taken out with like surgical precision. However, there is not even the presence of a blade anywhere around. The wounds are perfectly cauterized. I mean, it's bizarre shit that was happening out there and still continues to happen to this day. The people that own it don't let anybody in there anymore. The original family that owned it sold it because of the activity.
What the fuck?
So it's like super interesting. But yeah, so skinwalkers are these horrible creatures that are supposed to demon creatures that do take the shape of things anything, most importantly, things that you may trust, or animals, things like that. And so, yeah, they're.
I think that's what it is. They take shapes of things you trust.
You trust.
And that is fucking scary.
Yeah, and apparently they say that if you talk about them in an area where they're supposed to be prevalent, that they will find you.
Oh yeah, I've heard that too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's part of the legend. That's part of the folklore that you don't talk about them. And it's interesting, in that documentary that I saw about Skinwalker Ranch, the native folks refused to talk about it by name.
Like that.
Well, their name, their native word for it.
Oh, their native
word. They have
a
word for it, and they would not utter it under any circumstance. Yeah. So it was fascinating and chilling. Yeah. So that's the Skinwalker. That's one of the scarier cryptids out there. Yeah.
I mean, that one and aliens have been recorded.
Yes.
I don't know about the rest that we'll talk about after a little break. I don't know how truthful they are.
They are. But those two are pretty well substantiated.
Yeah, there's enough evidence, if you may, video.
From us cryptids.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll take a little break and we'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Hey guys, take two.
Take two.
I wish I would have saved that first. I think I did. Anyway.
Hi, we're back.
We're back.
We left off on
cryptids. Cryptids. Briefly discussed the documented ones.
The documented ones, because we feel they might be a little bit more bigger chance of them being real. And then we are, of course, jumping into the really freaking crazy ones.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start with the chupacabra.
Yeah. But before I do want to mention, because this is going on TikTok, I was recording this and then realized our microphones were off, so this is take two.
This is our tech person. So performance reviews.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yes. So to kick us off into the really ridiculous ones that we at least think are come on.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with the chupacabra, which
I thought it was very Mexico / Latin America, apparently.
But apparently not.
Yeah, and then previously I read somewhere it was Puerto Rico, but I guess it isn't.
Yeah. So, yeah. It says, the chupacabra is a legendary creature in the folklore of parts of the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
The name comes from the animal's reported vampirism. The chupacabra is said to attack and drink the blood of livestock, including goats.
Yeah.
Physical descriptions of the creature vary. In Puerto Rico and in Hispanic America, it is generally described as a heavy creature, reptilian and alien-like, roughly the size of a small bear, and with a row of spines reaching from the neck to the base of the tail. While in the southwestern United States, it is depicted as more dog-like. And
that's what I was going to say.
Because I was about to be what? Here it is. Mm-hmm. Initial sightings and accompanying descriptions first occurred in Puerto Rico.
Oh, shit.
In 1995.
Oh, I thought this myth was older.
No, apparently not.
That is weird. I guess I'll have to look this up after. Puerto Rico.
I love this. Okay, so again, we said cryptozoologists are the people that, study
Right.
this. Okay,
Right.
this is my favorite. All of the reports are anecdotal and have been disregarded as uncorroborated or lacking evidence.
Right.
Sightings in northern Mexico and southern United States have been verified as dogs afflicted by mange.
Which is why it looks dog-like. That's so funny.
To us.
Right.
Yeah. And everyone's like, chupacabra!
Right.
Right? Which,
That's
I mean, honestly, that's a much, I guess, funner story and maybe not as sad as like a poor stray dog affected by mange.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, do we think it's a thing? If it
I
came
don't
from
think so.
someone.
It's also like it's stated there. There are like some videos of it, but naturally it's not a thing because it's a dog.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I guess we can discard this theory of a chupacabra.
I mean, yeah, I don't think so. Especially like if it originated in Puerto Rico, like it's very jungly and islandy.
Right, and then they describe it as a bear.
Yeah, maybe somebody just saw like a really large Komodo dragon or some shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Some sort of like really
eating some sort of livestock. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know. That seems more likely than. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the next one would be Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
And all its
the Yeti.
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Daniel is a Yeti truther.
Really?
He believes that there's some sort of
Slenderman is another like woodsy creature.
Yeah, but he's more of a ghost though.
Oh, he's not.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's more of a ghost. But no, so Bigfoot, let's see. I don't know, Bigfoot I think to me seems like, I mean, if he is big, how come we haven't found like a skeleton?
Right. Or I mean, because people may be confusing like those oddly tall people, you know?
Yeah.
Because there are some like 9-foot people out there, you know?
I'd be sure, but
yeah,
he's supposed to be hairy,
right?
And
well, I mean, when you're scared, your eye kind of tricks you. You know?
That's true.
So he could have just been wearing a thick jacket, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's big and furry."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it says here that tales of wild, hair-covered humanoids exist throughout the world.
There's also some hairy men out there.
Absolutely. Bigfoot is often described as a large, muscular, and bipedal ape or human-like creature covered in black, dark brown, or dark reddish hair. See what I mean? Like,
right.
The fur color varies. Anecdotal descriptions estimate a height of roughly 6 to 9 feet.
See, I'm telling you.
Again, there's
6
so
feet.
much.
Okay, I could be a fucking Bigfoot.
Right.
Granted, I do have. Yeah, I don't have big feet. Average. Anyway, but 6 feet. Come on, people. What are you, like 4 feet tall?
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, some people. There's this one gentleman called Michael Rugg, owner of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, claims to have smelled Bigfoot, stating, "Imagine a skunk that had rolled around in dead animals and had hung around the garbage pits."
How can you distinguish all 3 scents?
Just
like specifically, you know.
Like, first of all, how do you know? I can't.
So, like, were you just like sniffing him while he was following you? Like, what?
You know what I mean?
Smells like trash. No, skunk.
Yes.
Oh,
and there's a body. Oh, garbage pit. Come on, Michael Rugg, Mr. Rugg.
Yeah.
No, like some people argue that the forests are vast. Things are a lot. There's a lot going on in the forest that there may be something we haven't seen yet or aren't familiar with. Whatever.
I mean, sure,
but I feel like
what if there was a bear on its feet? You know,
a really skinny bear.
Yeah, have you seen them straight out of hibernation? They're kind of like thin.
They look rough. They look like me on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Have you seen that white one?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
That.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm telling you. It could have been a bear just walking on it.
I don't believe it. Like, there's people...
Legs? Feet?
I mean,
legs.
But this is okay, so here we go. Many of the indigenous cultures across the North American continent include tales of mysterious hair-covered creatures living in forests. And according to the anthropologist David Daly, these legends existed long before contemporary reports of the creature described as the Bigfoot. Um,
Yeah, I don't know about
I
this
don't know
one.
about this one. There's just something about it that I'm like, we would have found something by
Yeah,
now.
even like you said, what about, bones?
Yeah, where do they go?
Right.
Are they really that human that they bury their dead? Like, I just don't
Right.
understand.
Or are they like living forever, ever,
Right.
immortal? Like, what's going on? I don't know.
Do we
Whatever.
have Bigfoots that survived the meteorite
Right.
blast? Like,
Exactly.
kill the dinosaurs? Like,
I mean, who knows? Maybe they are just ghosts. Yeah.
maybe.
Who
But
knows?
no, I don't.
Yeah. I'll pass on
We've
that
got
one
to
too.
post some of these pictures that they have for. Dude, look at this. We'll throw it up on the screen right now. I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's like
That's
a
someone
man
in a
dressed.
suit.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, so that is Bigfoot. And again, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, even the abominable snowman, all these sort of things are of the same. And the abominable snowman is even more bizarre because, like, it literally is supposed to live, like, in the North Pole and in
Right.
the coldest areas where food
Yeah.
doesn't grow,
Right.
and somehow it exists. So, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't.
I don't like it.
What is he eating snow cones all day?
How cute. Can you imagine?
Or people?
That's not as cute. You know what I just pictured in my head immediately?
What?
It was like this like big white with like an arm and he's like, ah. No. Anyway, sorry. That's really gross.
That's
Anyways. Yeah. Okay, so then we have
Mermaids
mermaids and
sirens.
Go ahead. Tell me what you think. Mermaids.
Do
Real?
they exist or not?
Yep.
I mean, I don't necessarily know that mermaids exist.
Okay.
Once again, I've mentioned it millions of times. Like there has to be something that we don't know in the ocean. So there is that. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily picture Ariel, half human, half fish,
Right.
swimming across the ocean.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I think that's a
but
little
I mean,
far-fetched.
I do believe there might be like some sort of alien/fish thing.
Yeah, no, so get this. Archaeologists have found accounts in Mesopotamian mythology
Mm-hmm.
of Oannes, I want to say, a male fish god from over 5,000 years ago. One of the earliest mermaid legends appeared in Syria around 1000 BC when the goddess Atargatis dove into a lake to take the form of a fish. So, yeah, it said that as the gods there would not allow her to give up her great beauty, only her bottom half became a fish, and she kept her top half in human form, thus becoming
the Little Mermaid.
A Little Mermaid. In sailor folklore, mermaids represent both good fortune and disaster.
Uh-huh.
As sailors spent months, sometimes years, traveling across vast oceans, it's not surprising that beliefs and superstitions of figures controlling the unpredictable weather appeared in nautical stories over the centuries. So, yeah, I mean, I've read that, if there's a lot of, like, accounts by sailors.
Right.
They're like, I saw something, but again, they just sort of, in my head, they just sort of gave away the thing. Like, they're out there for months or years.
They're probably lost, desperate, and
half
horny.
of them have fucking scurvy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not. They haven't seen a citrus fruit in like a year, and they're like, ugh. So I would say you probably see a lot of shit.
You start hallucinating a little bit. But I have seen. Have you seen that one video of I guess fishermen that pull whatever they caught, and then they dump it into the boat, and then you do see this like
thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like an alien, like mermaid. Like it's not half human, half fish. It's more like half something, half fish. It does have arms, but its face looks like a demon creature, some sort of odd-looking fish.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those videos, but I mean, it sounds.
We'll either post it or something, but I'll send it to you because it is interesting. Because it's definitely not a human thing.
No.
And it's not any fish ever recorded. But it does look sort of like a mermaid. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I guess we should differentiate between mermaids and
And
sirens.
sirens.
Sirens are
Yeah.
supposed to be demon creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're
those
supposed to
are the
have
ones
their
that,
song.
yeah. Those are the ones that
Yeah.
have their specific song or whatever.
Okay, here we go. In Greek mythology, sirens are human-like beings with alluring voices. They appear in a scene in the Odyssey in which Odysseus saves his crew's lives. Roman poets placed them on some small islands. Um, yeah. So, but wherever they're mentioned, according to Wikipedia, it's somewhere that's rocky. So it's always by water, obviously, but it's somewhere surrounded by cliffs and rocks.
Mhm.
Because the whole point is that the siren is supposed to lure you into the water to your death, or to mostly to your death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than likely, yeah.
And ideally, it's like, they appear beautiful when they're like singing to you, and then you get close, and they're like, ah, and then they drag you underwater and kill you. Like, if any of you have seen Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, when they're doing like the underwater competition.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Come here, our voices down." And they're like, "We cannot sing above the ground." Right.
Yeah.
That they're the ones that are doing, and they sound beautiful. They don't sound like they sound beautiful, right? But then they get down there, and it's like, oh, they're ugly, and they have like sharp teeth or whatever.
Well, that's kind of what the video shows. It's kind of like an odd-looking sharp tooth thing.
Really?
It's also not that big. It's probably more than like 4 feet tall, or long, I guess.
Okay.
So that's why it's not a fish. It's not a human. Because I was gonna say, what human is 4 feet tall?
Here we go. Another thing to get canceled for.
Yeah.
There are humans that are 4 feet tall.
Yeah, unless
full disclosure.
Remember now.
Oh man, guys, I try. I just I don't know. I can't know what he's gonna say. I just want to. I
don't know what I'm gonna say. It just comes out clearly. What
he's gonna say. Right. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it obviously doesn't look human. It's like human-esque, but not. It definitely doesn't look like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. On that topic, there's one more that I want to discuss: the megalodon. Which is it's technically considered a cryptid because there's never been actual records of it. But it's basically the most giant shark you can imagine, and see that I'm inclined to believe could be very possible.
Oh, for sure.
Because for one, obviously, the fish, or it's actually not even fish, specifically sharks, are one of the least changed species on the planet.
Yeah.
They've been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And the species has been pretty much the same.
They were dinosaurs.
They were, and they were there before the dinosaurs. Yeah. So they're very old. The species is very old. So to me, it's not that big of a leap to say, oh, there's this massive, like, the king of all sharks kind of thing.
I believe it too.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we would have seen it by now. I'm like, I believe that, like, in the forest, but not the ocean.
Right. I mean, we cannot explore the ocean that far.
No.
There's no way.
And allegedly, the whole thing is that it's able to live in very, very deep water.
Yeah.
So, again.
Like, lengths we can't get to as human beings.
Remember those guys in the submarine? Yeah. Earlier this year? They thought it was cool, and then...
Right.
They became...
Tuna,
sea jelly.
Sea jelly, yeah.
Just everywhere. Yeah. May they rest in peace. Honestly, I just feel bad for that young kid that was there with them.
The son.
Yeah, poor little baby. But yeah, so no, anything that's underwater to me.
On that note, have you seen that video of, there's apparently this person, they were diving, and then they reached some sort of massive, I'll have to find the video, but they reached this massive cage.
Cage?
Yeah, underwater.
What?
Massive. They said it extended for miles and miles. Like they couldn't see the end of it, essentially. Yeah, and a human could fit through.
The entrance.
No, you know how cages have like.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
So it was big enough for a human to come in and out of it. So like,
so
the person's theory was like, what are they keeping in there that a whole human can fit in there, but that thing can't come out. Yeah. So that was their like theory on it does exist.
Did they say which area of the?
Yeah. So apparently it's somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, and it was territory owned by NASA. Right. Because I don't know if you knew, or I don't know if you guys knew. You probably knew this, but not NASA started exploring the ocean before they started exploring.
That's right.
Space.
Yeah, it's the origin of the
Yeah.
And it's funny that you're like, oh, it's in the Gulf of Mexico. That side of the water, where did the meteor hit? It hit in the Yucatan Peninsula.
There you go.
So.
And that was their theory. This person that was recording and like trying to find sense to why the cage is so massive,
right?
And why a human can come in and out of it, but like nothing inside of it can come out. Was like there has to be this massive shark in there because there's no way that we're trying to hold something else in. And then they were like, and think about this: why is NASA now exploring ways to get out of this planet versus continuing to explore what's in it?
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily in a very uplifting situation,
but yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it before. There has to be other creatures in
here.
I
mean, there has to be,
especially in the ocean that we don't know.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer. Anything that is like below water, I'm like, which is why I don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
I can't swim. Whenever I do go to the beach, I don't go very far. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even.
I think I am afraid of sharks.
Yeah. This weekend we were with someone eating Dave and Buster's or something, and they were like, "Oh my god, I want to swim. I want to do those things where you're in a cage with sharks." And I'm like,
okay, that I do want to do too. Yeah. But those sharks are known to not attack people.
But I've seen some places they're like, oh, you want to see great whites up front, great white sharks, and those are aggressive.
Those are aggressive.
Yeah,
I don't know that I would do those. Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know that I would do white sharks.
That is.
I still want to keep my limbs.
Yeah. No, I call that peak white people behavior. Sorry, I love you, but I know. I know. As I'm saying this, it's true. It just.
But like, you wouldn't want to swim with those harmless sharks.
Nope.
What about whales?
Absolutely not. I want to see a whale.
What about dolphins?
No. Have you seen the videos of horny dolphins humping people? Do you want that to happen to you? Don't answer that. Not on camera.
I was about to say. I don't
say anything on camera.
But no, I haven't seen those videos. I will go ahead and look it up. But yeah, I don't know. I would swim with dolphins. Maybe not like fucking killer whales. Killer whales,
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as orcas.
Orcas, yeah.
No, like I want to see a
also,
whale.
it's weird that they call them killer whales and they're not even a whale.
No.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Yeah, no. I want to see a whale from the safety of a boat.
Right.
I'd be like, wow, look
a blue whale.
Look at the blue whale over there, the Alaskan coast or something. I have no interest. Have you seen the video of these people kayaking that got swallowed by a whale? And then the whale was like, ew, gross. And then she spit him back out.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I would take great offense to that. Because at that point, if a whale swallowed me, I'd be like, well,
I'm dead. And then you're like, oh, I guess I'm not.
Okay, shit, I wasn't good enough to eat, I guess, which is, I would find very offensive. But yeah. So
do you want to get eaten by carnivores or something?
I mean, yeah, if I was somewhere and I somehow ran into a freaking band of cannibals and they're like, no, bitch, not you, I'd be like, you sure? Because I mean, at that point, you're
Look at
screwed.
me.
Look at me.
Yeah.
But no. So,
Oh,
yeah.
apparently I saw this video on TikTok. I keep on mentioning them, but I do spend some time in there. And it was this influencer, and he went somewhere, and he got, and he was recording all this, which is kind of hilarious. But he got caught by a couple of cannibals, and then he was taken to, I guess, their chief or something, and somehow he made it out. I don't know how, but they're about to eat him.
Maybe he told them he ate something that they don't find palatable.
Maybe. I wonder what our meat tastes like.
Oh my god, we can have a whole episode. See, I had this idea. I was like, oh, maybe we can have an episode of cannibalism. And Fonz was like, no, Zuki, that's too dark. And here he is, asking the broad audience, I wonder what human tastes like. But I'm the weirdo. Anyways, yeah.
So noted. Episode on cannibalism coming.
Let us know.
Right. We're still looking for parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a parent, I mean, honestly, even if you want to like submit a video of what you think of parenthood, if you're a parent.
Oh, you could totally do that.
You could absolutely
just let us know your opinion.
Let us know your opinion. And
we can blur your face and like
blur your face.
Change your voice.
Yeah, we could do like one of those detective-y videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know. But yeah, I think some cryptids are real.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, though. My closing note, I also think some of them are real. Specifically anything underwater and probably aliens.
And probably aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Yeah. And if we missed any really famous cryptids that you know of, let us know.
Let us know, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. This has been episode 38 of General Queery.
Goodbye.
Bye.